Hey guys, John here from Catbird Hill. So I've been wanting to make a chainsaw video. Haven't done one in maybe 2 or 3 videos, and I always try to, look for a great day to do that when it's a little bit cooler, a little bit air blowing. You're in some protective gear. Tends to be hot. What do? I wait for the one day that we've had in the past week where it's 85 degrees, like 75, 80% humidity. The sweat's pouring out of me. I don't know why I do that, but anyhow, here we are. So last video I posted was exactly a week ago today, and that was when the remnants of Hurricane Ida came through. We had a lot of flooding on our property. Thankfully no major damage, but a lot of our neighbors about 1.5 miles away, a tornado went through the area and damaged at least 40 or 50 homes. Some of them are just not livable anymore. Thankfully nobody was hurt, and there was no loss of life or anything like that, but still just unbelievable, the force of nature. I might try to throw some photos up maybe on my Instagram page, and you can check that out and just see, how close it was to us, maybe literally a mile and a half away. We've got another tropical storm remnant coming through tonight. Hopefully it won't be anything like it was last week. So anyhow, despite all that, we're going to do a quick chainsaw video here. This is a saw that I bought locally maybe about a month or so ago, and I've really started to get interested in Poulan chainsaws. I love stuff that obviously is made here in the U.S. Of course, I also have a barn full of steel and Husqvarna saws, but I love the Poulan saws, and I'm just learning more about them, experimenting with a little bit. This is the 455. So this is a 72cc saw. This would be equivalent to like your 372. Your Husqvarna 372, I think, so your steel 441s, 461, the 500i, the new fuel injected one, the Echo 7310 that you saw me do a video on maybe a month and a half ago. Same saw class. This has a 24-inch bar on it, and it just looked like a nice saw. I went and checked it out. It seems solid. It's got some issues. Definitely going to tear it down, probably put a carb kit in it, clean it out really good. The fuel caps need to be kind of refurbished a little bit. The gaskets are worn out. I'm sure that, for the life of this saw, it probably had ethanol fuel in it, or at least the last part of its life. This saw was made in 1988. So, it just needs a little bit of TLC, but really, for the age of the saw, it's in outstanding condition. It doesn't really seem like it was heavily used at all. And the guy I bought it from, it was a single owner saw. His father had purchased it, and you can tell when I visited, I could tell by the equipment they had in their garage. It was very well maintained, along with a lot of their other stuff they had there. So I want to fire it up. We'll dig into this big maple log here. This is a log that came down or part of a tree that came down about a year ago. We've got about an 18-inch end there, and there's we're sort of at a crotch location here. It's got a shoulder on it that's starting to fall apart with some rot. I was going to mill this log, but with that rot going on, I just don't think it's going to be worth it. Usable wood from a milling perspective is probably only about 4 feet long, so I've got plenty of other logs, and this will just be a nice log to sort of test things out and experiment with some saws. I have not touched this chain. I just wanted to run the saw a little bit, and so this probably isn't going to be the best cutting, but it'll give you some idea of what's going on. Have not started it since I bought it. Since the day I bought it, I started it at the seller's property. It fired right up. So let's just see what happens here. See if we can make some chips. I do remember it was pretty loud though. I didn't have my hearing protection on when I was test running it when I purchased it, but. See what happens here. It does have a decomp on it. It's got pretty good compression. That thing definitely needs some work. I can hear it four-stroking, which is not a big deal. I mean, a lot of people get all worked up about that, but that's not the worst thing in the world for an old power saw like this. Man, that thing definitely has some torque. Whew. That is why I love these old saws. They just, you know, come with their weight, which, you know, a lot of people say, oh my gosh, that thing's so heavy, how could you possibly, you know, when you're making cuts like this through big logs, it's very little effort. Just the weight of the saw kind of, you know, you don't need to apply any downward pressure, and you got a saw that has a lot of torque like this one. Well, I feel like it has a lot of torque. It just sort of pulls its way through the wood, and of course, if your chain's done right, that's, you know, ends up being all about the chain anyway. So probably definitely need a carb kit, needs some work on tuning. But yeah, that's a saw. Wow, that's really the first big Poulan that I've ever run. Yeah, so anyhow, that's cool. I think I'm falling in love with Poulan chainsaws. Here comes Beth arriving. Hey, welcome home, Beth. So definitely going to do a little bit of work on this. I think what would be kind of cool would be to do some work, rebuild the carb, dump the old fuel out, put a new fuel line, new fuel filter, get the tuning right, and see how she cuts again. Maybe, you know, do a little work on the chain. But man, I tell you, this wood is hard wood. This is hard maple. I mean, this stuff is just nasty. I didn't cut all the way down just because I've got this shoulder here, which is going to make it really difficult. And I didn't want to. I needed to be positioned on this side of the log to give you guys a good view. But I think that thing can definitely handle a longer bar than that. If it's got a good carb on it, tuned right, and good sharp chain, I think that could easily pull a 36 with no trouble at all. So again, you know, the obsession with vintage chainsaws continues. I apologize if anybody doesn't like that content, but I know I've gotten feedback from a lot of you that you really do enjoy seeing some of the old saws. I want to give a special shout out to another YouTuber who's been a real big inspiration for me, and that's Tinman from Tinman's Saws. I'll put a link to his YouTube channel below. He's an awesome guy. I followed him ever since he came onto YouTube. He's an excellent saw mechanic, and he does porting, and his work just seems like super high quality. I actually sent him a partner chainsaw that he opened up. He did an unboxing today on the video that he released today, which is September 8th. So he gave me a shout out. This is a shout out back to him. Thanks a lot for doing a video on that saw. It's another unusual saw that I kind of stumbled across when I was looking at classifieds, and I thought it was a saw that he should have. I think that he can do some really cool things with it in terms of increasing its performance. I'm nowhere near that level. I am learning just basic stuff, but he's an awesome teacher. So if you haven't checked out his channel, please visit his channel and subscribe to it. He's just a super guy. He's just like a regular guy you could probably sit down at a bar with and have a beer and talk about anything. He's just super nice guy, and he's really taught me a lot. So you'll learn a lot from his channel if you're really into chainsaws. So that's about it for today. I got to start getting cleaned up here. We've got a little grass to cut. We're going to get all this rain tonight, so I want to get some grass cut. But thanks a lot for watching. Really appreciate it. We're going to keep rolling out videos. I'm going to try to roll out one a week, and you know, take advantage of this great weather. We'll try to bring out some of the bigger saws as we get into cooler weather here into September and October. We're probably also going to try to set up some videos for milling. We'll set up our Alaskan chainsaw mill, and we've got a lot of awesome wood here on the property to mill. This is all white oak. These are trees I took down with a couple friends a couple years ago. Look at this beast here. That's white oak. Don't be deceived by all the fungi out here. White oak is an unusual species of wood. It can be lying on the ground for years and look awful on the outside, and it's just, there's beautiful wood on the inside. And what I made sure I did here when I moved these logs is I actually put them up off the ground on 4x4s. So we're going to be digging into those pretty shortly. I hope everybody stays safe. We're having some crazy weather right now all around the country this time of the year, so please take it easy. Try to help your neighbors if they need it. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already. Make sure you click a thumbs up and make sure you click the bell icon to get the notifications when I upload new videos. Really appreciate all the support. Channel's growing, and I appreciate you growing along with us and helping us out. This is John from Catbird Hill. Take care.